Previously on the Senna career. But now we have got 5 red lights at Interlagos and away we go. Senna on board with him now, away from 6th position. Not as bad a start as usual. And he's going to go around the outside of Vettel. And Senna takes the lead of his home Grand Prix. But he gets stuck on the curb there and that's not going to do it any good whatsoever. He goes out onto the wet line. And if we look on the replay, you can just see that's the Brazilian as he runs wide. Oh no! Oh my word! Oh no! Lewis Hamilton's through on the penultimate lap of the race. And in front of the Brazilian crowd, he's giving him a good show. He's giving it the best that he can as he fails a flick spin across the line. Ayrton Senna takes 3rd with his teammate Jenson Button in 7th place. What's up guys, and welcome to the final round of the Senna career. It's part number 12, it's the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We may not have double points this afternoon, but still, we've got 17 points to make up on Lewis Hamilton. Yes, Senna currently lying in 3rd in the championship, Hamilton leading the way on 198 points. But if we can smash 200 likes in this video, yes, the final episode of the series, that would be insane guys, it really would. But well, without further ado, we'll get in first to qualifying. So it was the final qualifying hour of the season at the Abu Dhabi circuit in the desert, and getting out there early in Q1 was Jules Bianchi, and he managed to put in a great time. It could only manage him 18th position, but he nearly got out of Q1. The same could be said for Pastor Maldonado, although a pretty dismal season for Lotus was continuing. He couldn't get out of Q1 and will start 17th, with the 2 Caterham drivers, Kobayashi starting 22nd and Ericsson at 19th. Ayrton Senna, though, he managed to get out of Q1 relatively easily, coming across the line for a 1:44.6, saw him through. And Romain Grosjean capped off an awful season for Lotus. He'll be starting the race in 16th, but Fernando Alonso in Q2 managed 2nd place, so Ferrari most definitely have some pace around this circuit, as do the Red Bulls, Sebastian Vettel and Daniel Ricciardo easily making it into Q3. And so did Senna, a 1:43 this time around. The 1:43.3 was enough to see him through. His teammate just got through, but there you can see Valtteri Bottas, Sergio Perez, Daniel Kvyat, Jean-Eric Vergne, Adrian Sutil and Romain Grosjean couldn't make it through. Getting into Q3 now, and we're taking a slightly different approach to the qualifying report at this stage, and we're going to actually go on a lap on board with Ayrton Senna in Q3, and as you can see here, well, the sun is just about to set. The circuit looks absolutely beautiful, and Senna, for his first time lap, comes across the line for 3rd place, and now he's going into the sunset, as you can see here, switching to the cinematic view and using all of the track on the exit of Turn 1, and coming now into the sweeping Turn 2, 3 and 4 complex. And now we'll get a good indication of how this lap is going. He is 3.9 tenths up on Lewis Hamilton, and he's up on his previous best as well as they come into the Turn 7 hairpin, which is notoriously difficult. You don't want to clip that inside apex because that really does lose you traction, as we now ride on board with Senna down this main straight and towards Turn 8 and Turn 9. An extremely difficult chicane to get right, but of course he's got the DRS open now, getting up to 208, 209 miles per hour, and he clips that inside apex beautifully. Once again, you don't want to clip that apex quite, as it does unsettle the car, and as you can see on the exit, Senna getting a bit of wheel spin, but coming into the 2nd DRS zone. Now this is looking a pretty tiny lap at the moment, and as he'll look up to the split now, he's 4.4 tenths up on Hamilton and over 4 tenths up on his previous best. So he's just got to nail this final sector and he should be on pole position, but he looked a little bit cautious into there, maybe just trying to preserve what he's got. And as you can see here, what a view this is of the Yas Hotel, which is illuminating in the sunset, and as he comes through under the hotel now, surely this is going to be the pole lap, as he now comes towards the end of the lap. Just 2 turns remaining, Turn 20 here and Turn 21. He gets great traction out of Turn 20, but he has to have 2 bites of the cherry coming through Turn 21. Is it going to be pole? No, he doesn't even improve on his previous best time. Pole position was there to be taken, but it's still 3rd place, so he's most certainly in with a shout for tomorrow's race. As you can see, Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg once again locking out the front row, but Senna will be starting 3rd. His teammate Button could only manage 10th, but he will be disappointed with that, but he'll be looking to make up for that in the race.
Just race your own race today, Ayrton. Give it your all, hopefully it'll be enough. Best of luck.
So after 12 long hard rounds, it all comes down to this. We've got 55 laps of the Abu Dhabi circuit and we're away now. And riding on board with Senna from 3rd position, he gets a good start on Rosberg. But just look at those Red Bulls. They are gaining so much. As that's Ricciardo trying to go around the outside of Senna, who's now caught in a Red Bull sandwich. But is he going to go around the outside of Vettel? Yes, he is. Back up into P3, which is really where he needs to be. Because, well, he needs to hunt down these Mercedes, of course. 9 points behind Rosberg and 17 points behind Hamilton. Rosberg goes wide and loses some speed, but Senna's lost more than some speed. He's lost a front wing. And, oh, that is a nightmare start for the Brazilian. He's going to have to come into the pit lane at the end of lap 1.
Box. We'll give you another set of options and just take the life out of them, mate. Let's go and overtake some cars.
Yeah, it seems as if there's only one option for the McLaren team, and that is that they're going to have to fit a set of option tyres to Senna's car, because he's just going to have to absolutely bolt it in this stint. Obviously, you know, this is like an emergency pit stop, and he's going to fall. Just look at the top left. He's tumbling down positions, and the McLaren team are going to have a pretty quick turnaround in the pit lane here if they want their man to at least have a shot at winning the world title. Of course, he's got to get 2nd or above just to have a chance. If he gets 2nd, Hamilton will have to DNF from the Grand Prix. So, yeah, a lot of luck is going to be involved, but he's down into P21. Kimi Raikkonen has also encountered some troubles on lap 1, but I tell you what, Ayrton's going to have to do a lot of overtaking in this stint, and, well, let's go. Oh my word, what a stint that was from Senna, proving why he's already a 3-times world champion, and, well, who knows, maybe after all those antics he could be a 4-times world champion. He's up into 7th place, obviously gaining 1 position due to a pit stop, and now gaining some more positions due to pit stops. So up into P5 and maybe even P4. Yes, he's up into P4 now. And currently on lap 14, so his tyres should just be starting to go off at this stage of the race. He's currently got Fernando Alonso right in front of him, who I do believe has stopped. I may be wrong, but Senna goes purple through Sector 1, so there's nothing wrong with his tyres at the moment. And he's going after Fernando Alonso in the Ferrari. Obviously, we know that Ferrari's been pretty slow all season, bar the win in Russia. But Alonso seems to be struggling now at this stage of the race. And Senna just breezes past him. Superior traction to Alonso, which is not something that you hear very often in this series, or indeed on F1 2014 as a whole when you're racing the AI. But yeah, pretty good stint for Senna.
Great stint, mate. Now box a slap for primes. We want you to take care of these, mate, so lean revs in the traction zones.
Well, it sounds as if the McLaren team are most certainly satisfied. Coming into the pit lane at the end of lap 18, so Senna's done 17 laps on those tyres. Really is a fantastic effort from the Brazilian. Not that you'd expect anything different. And then he's currently coming into the pit lane, and the McLaren guys, who have been pretty kind to Ayrton this season, service his car in 3.7 seconds, and he rejoins in P5. So that's a fantastic stint. Recovery drive from Senna, who of course was in P3 when he lost his front wing in that exact position that we've just gone through there at the turn 5 and 6 chicane. But now we're on lap 24, and really not a lot has happened in the last few laps. But now something's happened. We've got a safety car. We're down to 19 runners. I believe Jenson Button DNF from the race pretty early on, and then there must have been a collision, because we went from 21 runners down to 19 within the space of about 10 seconds or so. But a safety car deployed, that's really going to bunch the field up, and at this stage of the race, it looks as if the sun is most certainly setting, not only on this race, but also on the season, as now we're ready for the safety car restart at the end of lap 26. Senna's got a direct run at the back of Fernando Alonso, and we're under green flag conditions now, nearly halfway into this race, as Senna gets very, very wide there on the curbing. And we've already lost 3 cars from this race. Could we see more DNFs later on in the race, which could maybe cause another safety car? Because at the moment, it looks as if Hamilton is quite a long way down the road. Obviously, Senna needs to overtake him and Rosberg if he wants any shot at the title. But that's certainly going to help him. Sebastian Vettel running wide at turn 1. Well, that's going to help the cause. That's just a free position. Sebastian will be most certainly quite dissatisfied with it, that malarkey. But anyway, we're now on to lap 31, and Vettel's trying to make amends for his mistake as Nico Rosberg pits. So at the end of his second stint is over, and now coming on to lap 33, the sun is definitely setting now. The orange sky above the drivers in Abu Dhabi, but Sebastian Vettel making a move into the sunset, and Senna parks it on the apex, but Vettel goes around the outside. It's a nice move from the German, 4 times world champion, who just parks it on the exit of turn 9, and it manages to work. But Senna says, thank you very much, I'll take some DRS off you, and a little bit of slipstream before he pulled away to the side. And now that's P3 for Senna, so as now we're going to have a look on the replay camera, I believe, and you can just see that he just breezes past, so it's a very, very nice move. Pretty routine in the end, but at the end of lap 39 now, currently in P3, and there's another safety car down to 18 runners.
Safety car, boxer's lap. We're changing the strategy. We're going to try and go to the end on these tyres.
Well, the increased chance of a safety car mod, if that's what you could call it, has most certainly played its it's played its role in this season's championship. It's got to be said, and most certainly this afternoon it's thrown up a couple of surprises. And the realistic damage mod also helps with the safety car probability. Of course, any debris that's left on the racing line it's pretty much going to cause a safety car more than likely with this mod installed. But now coming towards the restart on lap 42, so we've cut quite a long way into this Grand Prix now. But unfortunately for Senna, he's got another back marker in his way. There are 2 cars in the pit lane. It's Vettel and Hamilton. So the championship leader has, I think, just handed possibly the World Championship to Nico Rosberg, who is in P3 currently. So it'll be interesting to see where Hamilton comes out. Senna, of course, now in P2. So if Hamilton does disappear out of the points because of that, then, well, Senna's still got a chance, it's got to be said. But, yeah, pretty distant shot now. As the
pace is good. Now go and get Fernando.
Yeah, you heard from the engineer there that he's been given permission to go after Fernando Alonso, and you just saw there in the top right corner that Lewis Hamilton was in 5th position. So that means that he loses, what's that, only 5 points to Nico Rosberg. So that would still be enough for Lewis to become world champion. But Rosberg is definitely not done there. He's looking to make a move down the inside, which would take him level on points with Lewis Hamilton. And now Nico Rosberg is in championship position, possibly. I'm not quite sure how many race wins they've had each. We'll take care of that later on in the Grand Prix. But currently Senna is definitely fighting his corner. Managing to put up a very good fight, and he's still in P2. and now chasing after Fernando Alonso. Senna wants this race win for sure, just 7 laps left, and Alonso is pretty vulnerable on those tyres, but Senna's going to have to try and get this move done quickly. But there you can just see that there's an incident down at turn 7 and 8, or sorry, turn 8 and 9, and we're down to 17 runners, so maybe another safety car's coming, and Senna's trying to make a move on Alonso. We've got yellow flags, now green flags, and we're down to 16 runners in the Grand Prix, and look at that. Look who's DNF'd. It's Rosberg and Hamilton. Senna's in championship position all of a sudden, and I just can't keep up with this. And now we've got a safety car, and oh my word.
Box, box, box. We need to cover off some of the guys behind if we want to get the P2 we need. Give it everything you've got, mate, and I'll see you on the other side.
Oh my word. We've got 6 laps left and Senna can win the World Championship if he finishes in P2 or above. We've got no Mercedes in the Grand Prix. They've taken each other out. But, well, the McLaren guys have decided to bring Ayrton in just because of the threat of Sebastian Vettel, Nico Hülkenberg, Valtteri Bottas. They're all on new tyres. Even Esteban Gutierrez, they're in 6th place. They all came in later than Senna. And, well, you saw Vettel come into the pit lane just after the safety car. So his tyres are a lot newer. And also, we know that Vettel's been quicker pretty much all race than Senna. But anyway, we've got the safety car restart now. And if Senna wants to become the world champion, he's got to finish in P2 or above. So he's got to make 3 overtakes. But most importantly, no Mercedes. He doesn't even need to overtake a Mercedes. They've taken each other out. It's like Spa 2014 all over again. But this time it could hand the World Championship to someone else. Can Senna get his 4th world title? We're under green flag conditions. We've got 4 laps left in the World Championship this season, and well, the 12th round of the season is proving to be most certainly the most dramatic, and he goes down the inside of Hülkenberg. He's up into P4. He's got 2 positions left to make, but Vettel is stuck behind Valtteri Bottas, as you can see there. Senna making the move, but now lap 53. We've got 2.5 laps left in the Grand Prix, and Vettel on that red wall super soft tyre is just you know, he's superior to anyone in this race. But look in the distance, we can't even see Fernando Alonso. You can just see a speck in the distance. That's him. So, well, Senna's just got to give it everything at this stage of the race. And now Vettel gets past Bottas. Can Senna get past Bottas into turn 9? Yes, he can, but will he get the DRS most importantly as we come up to the DRS zone? No, he doesn't. So, as Hülkenberg's up into P4, he doesn't have DRS. And he's got 2 laps to overtake Sebastian Vettel and become the world champion. But now closing towards the end of lap 54. We're going to ride on board right to the end now. Just over a lap remaining, and Vettel is currently taking the world championship from Senna. He's snatching it from the grasp of the Brazilian. But as you can see, he's gained so much on Fernando Alonso. Maybe Alonso's going to be the guy to overtake, as Senna puts in his fastest lap of the Grand Prix, and what a time to do it. The gap to Vettel's 1.1. He's going to have to close that to under a second if he wants DRS. But now coming towards the end of the first sector, what's the gap going to be? Is it under a second? Yes, it is. It's 0.9 as Senna locks up, but he's going to have to make an overtake if he wants to become the world champion. He's realistically got 2 opportunities as he runs wide, and now, well, Hülkenberg nearly made a move down the inside, and Senna had to be careful that the German didn't spin him. But now onto the DRS. He's too far behind, surely. Surely it can't be this cruel. At this stage of the race, desperation starts to kick in, but Vettel's overtaken Alonso. And now, as I'm losing my breath, I'm losing everything. And, well, will Senna be losing a world championship? He's got to make the move here on the DRS. Is Senna going to make the move? Alonso goes defensive into the triple chicane. Senna's going to move down the inside, and he's in championship position. He's going to be getting 18 points at this stage. Oh my word, he's made the move on Fernando Alonso. And, well, he doesn't need to overtake Vettel. Just forget about Vettel. He doesn't need that, and as we come now through the hotel complex, he's just got to negotiate a few more turns as he's very cautious into here. Sebastian Vettel's going to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, which is going to jump him up, well, a lot of positions in the championship, but we don't care about him, as now we've just got 2 corners remaining. Senna comes round the penultimate corner, and now around the final corner for Brazil, for McLaren, and just for the whole world. Ayrton Senna is a 4-time world champion. He's done it. He's beaten the Mercedes. He's beaten everyone in the field. And oh my word, can you believe it? He's the world champion. It's the first time he's led the championship all season. Nico Hülkenberg takes the final podium spot. And what a race, guys. What a race. You saw with your own eyes the two Mercedes tangling with each other down at turn 8 and 9. And who'd have thought it at the start of the race? Who'd have thought it halfway through the race? There you can see Rosberg and Hamilton were in fact the two guys that DNF'd. There is confirmation of it. Of course, Jenson Button, a disappointing end to his season. But look at that. Senna wins the World Championship by 1 point. The narrowest of margins. There you can see Sebastian Vettel jumps from 9th to 6th in the championship, if I'm not mistaken. But there, well, poor Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton must be kicking themselves. Well, I think they'll be doing more than kicking themselves at this stage. And, well, Senna's the world champion, guys. Who'd have thought it? And there you can just see confirmation that Mercedes did, in fact, win the Constructors' Championship quite convincingly. But that will be no consolation to either of their drivers who could have won the World Championship with relative ease. They had the best car, but this guy dug deep when it mattered. And what a World Championship, guys. I just want to thank every single one of you that supported the series from the start. And, well, it really does mean a lot, guys. But there's your new world champion. And I'll leave the final words to Startman 1998.
Come on, Ayrton!